Our Environmental Protection Agency drinking water programs, positive $9 million. The budget approved of the $120 million fund for the critical drinking water mass for the EPA for the protection of America, especially for children unsafe with contaminated water. $9 million increase for the 225 of the enacted level to properly with the EPA with the which fund with the respond with the drinking of the water disaster directly helping people over the ground recover for such emergencies. The Indian Reservation Drinking Water Program, positive $27 million. The budget increase for the fund for the tribe with the retaining the critical fund for the drinking water for the wasteful infrastructure on their lands, total of $31 million over the grant program, while the budget rightfully returned with the response for the state of the infrastructure of the state of the prioritize of the tribes to able to maintain the water infrastructure, with the cuts and reduction consolidation, clean drinking water state revolving loan funds, nearly $2.46 billion. The EPA state with a revolving fund with a designated with a decade to give money with the state with the V with the formula allocation seed money set up with the water infrastructure loan programs without continued annual operations when it comes to the Met water infrastructure. The state should be responsible for the funding of their own water infrastructure projects. Contrary to the design and the practice of the program, have heavily earmarked for the Congress project with the ultimate but not repaid over the program bypasses the state with an interest paying with an addition with SCRF's state revolving fund with a largely duplicate of the EPA with the Water Infrastructure Financing Innovation Act program, the Department of Agricultural Wastewater and Wastewater Loan Grant Program, and they receive the massive investment infrastructure investment Jobs Act with a budget proposed with a return over the state revolving fund and 10 with the direction of the funds revolve at the state level and therefore provides decreased funding a level of $305 million total of the allow the state with adjusting the alternative funding source of the water infrastructure. Categorical grants at negative $1.006 billion. EPA categorically grants have been crutch for the state with the expense for the taxpayers may who have received no benefit of these grants, but the majority of the statutes have been on the books several decades. State with the law, governments shall be capable of the empower of their own programs in order to comply with the law. With such which include the elimination of 16 categorical grants, maintained with the 225 at the next level to the tribes. Reduction promotes federalism, allowing the state to achieve the primary enforcement authority for those programs which encourage states to innovate with the fund when more efficient way to meet their responsibly under delegated authority has their substance superfunded in negative 251 EPA Superfund program charged with cleanup of contaminated areas that respond with emergencies such as oil spill and natural disaster. Congress imposed the later tax of the IIJA and the Inflation Reduction Act with the help to finance the superfunded program release of $1.6 billion tax estimated available to negative 226 and in 2026. Litigation recover the responsible party with no need for the additional fund and superfund cleanups, which is reflected within the budget. Offer the research and development of negative $235 million. President committed to making America healthy again, while the framework includes ensuring the American people have clean air and water to make investment with the benefit of the human health. Budget puts an end to the unrestrained of the research of the radical environmental justice work with the climate research with the inskew with the precautionary model of the influencing regulation, none of which are authorized by law, and some of the budget provide with the $281 million statutorily required research and support with the core mission area of the American people. Environmental Justice, negative $100 million. EPA with Environmental Justice Program and limit the vision of the President set forth with an Executive Order 1451 ending radical and wasteful government in the DEI programs and with Executive Order 1417.3 ending with illegal discrimination with the restoring of the merit-based opportunity, terminate radical preference of the restoring and protecting civil rights of all of the Americans, eliminating would put the end of the taxpayer with the funds for the promote with the diverse devises radical discrimination of environmental justice grants, the design destined to organization with advanced radical ideologies. Diesel Emission Reduction Act, or DRERA grants, negative $90 million. Diesel Emission Reduction Act grants, the story of the market of the subsidizing select technologies, packing winners, and subverting consumer choice of the program was wasteful of the taxpayer and should be eliminated. Atmospheric protection programs, negative 100. Atmospheric protection programs overreach for the government authority and publicly unnecessary radical climate change with regulations on the business, stifled with the economic growth by priorities in climate change with the over the job creation with the energy. The independence of the program has subverted with the American industry with costly mandates, ultimately hurting the consumer and the taxpayer of the program eliminated in the budget 2026 budget. Department of Homeland Security.